Good afternoon, everybody. And this beautiful sunny afternoon, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to our first virtual online cruise show. So on behalf of Alison and myself, you're very welcome. As I've said at the beginning of every presentation, this is the first time in 15 years that we've had to do this event virtually. And last year we had our biggest cruise show ever when we had 1,500 people in the Waterfront Exhibition Hall. So times have changed so much, but we do hope to be back bigger and better at our cruise show for 2021. It is really great to see how the cruise companies have embraced the new health and safety protocols for cruising, and we really hope that cruising will get back later on this year, and if not later on this year, certainly at the beginning of 2021. I'm really hoping it's later on this year because I've actually booked a Silversea cruise for over the new year, so I really hope it gets going because I've looked forward to that for so long now. But I think that's what so many of our customers are saying, just give us something to look forward to for next year. So we hope today we do just that. So although it's very different from seeing you all face to face, we hope that we've got something today to inspire and interest you and get you thinking about your next holiday. So when we put the Silversea event on, we were contacted by so many of you asking for some expedition as well as the ocean cruising. So expedition is so niche. So we decided that we would focus on that, and then that we'd move in and let you have a look at one of the new ships. I know the brand new ship isn't just quite launched yet, but certainly the Silver Muse, which is the sister ship, we have some information on that and a video. So I'd first of all then like to hand over to Luke, who's going to give the presentation on expedition cruising.
Hello everyone, I hope you're all well. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me today. I'm Luke, one of the sales managers here at Silversea Cruises, and today I've been asked to give you a very quick overview of probably one of the most iconic destinations we visit, the Galapagos Islands, and to also talk to you about one of the most exciting things this year, the launch of our brand new ship, the Silver Origin. The Galapagos Islands themselves, I believe, are probably up there on most people's bucket lists. It's a destination many of us are keen to travel to and to go on experience. Silversea have now been traveling to the Galapagos Islands for the past 7 years. We launched our Galapagos program back in 2013. So I like to think we have the experience and know-how to ensure that our guests have a truly memorable holiday when traveling to these islands. I'm going to start things off with a quick video, just to give you an overview of the experience and the type of things you can expect to see and do in the Galapagos Islands. I believe that this video will bring the experience to life far better than I can just by talking about it.
Galapagos is unique because this is one of the few places on Earth where you're actually accepted as part of the environment. These species are not running away or flying away. In certain cases, they're coming up to you.
Nothing can prepare you for what you actually see and experience here.
We're seeing the maximum we could be seeing every single day.
For me, to guide in the Galapagos is really a storytelling experience from the time of my grandparents, to tell the stories that they told me when I was coming to spend summer vacation with them.
The islands have really surprised us because of their diversity. One island is volcanic, the next is lush green. It's really everything under the sun here.
Well, I have to say this is not a typical cruise per se. This is an expedition. And what that means is we're going out and exploring into this living laboratory of evolutionary biology.
Those things that you have in your bucket list that you'd like to do, like swim with sea lions, see manta rays, nothing can prepare you for the actual experience of doing it, seeing it, being there, and how close you actually get.
On Silver Galapagos, we have naturalists that will help you to understand the Galapagos. We're interpreting what nature tells us into our common language.
The guides, they are the #1 transmitters of how absolutely precious and fragile this place is, and thus why conservation is so important.
So you'll see there, I think the #1 reason to travel to the Galapagos Islands is absolutely the wildlife. It's the one place where we say, go and live and be David Attenborough. not just watch David Attenborough on the TV. One question I'm often asked is, when is the best time to travel to the Galapagos Islands? And the only answer we can really give you to that is it is a year-round destination. There is no better time to visit. When it comes to the wildlife, there are slight variations throughout the year, and we can go into more details if you have any questions on that, and please do speak to the guys at Oasis Travel. But when it comes to the iconic species and the iconic wildlife, such as the blue or red-footed booby, the giant tortoise, the land or marine iguanas, you can see them all year round and on both the itineraries we operate at Silversea. As I said, there are small changes throughout the year when it comes to sort of the mating seasons or the hatching seasons, which we're more than happy to go into more details with you, should you have any questions on that. And on the weather front, there are really only two seasons in the Galapagos, what we call the hot and dry season, which is January through until June, and the cool and dry season, which is July through until December. Now, please do remember these islands are virtually located on top of the equator. So when we say the cool and dry season, it's going to be a very different type of cool to what we experience here in the UK. But the different seasons do have different impacts on the water and the currents out there, meaning that the wildlife behave in different ways. So again, we can talk to you about that if need be. The two itineraries we operate out there are both 7 nights long. There are some operators who offer shorter durations, such as 3 or 4 nights, but we believe that in order to get the full true experience and to maximize on your time and to see as much as possible, 7 nights is really the only way to do it. So we operate our north central itinerary, which starts on the island of Baltra and finishes in San Cristobal, or the western, which starts in San Cristobal and finishes in Baltra. And you can combine the two back to back. There are slight differences again between the two itineraries, but on both you will get to see all the iconic wildlife you expect to see when traveling to these islands. Another question I'm often asked about is, how do we get there? What does it involve? Because it is quite a big trip. It's quite a long way to travel, but it's absolutely worth it when you get there. And you'll see here, included as standard in our every Galapagos package we operate, we include your international flights from the UK out to Quito in mainland Ecuador. You'll then stay for 2 nights in Quito before flying out to the island. We also include a Quito by night tour, so our guests can experience the city, which is a beautiful city, by night. Your domestic flights are included, so we'll fly from mainland Ecuador, from Quito out to Baltra or San Cristobal, depending on where your voyage starts, before joining your expedition around the Galapagos Islands. At the end of your cruise, we'll fly you back to Guayaquil in mainland Ecuador, where we have a day room booked for you, so you can relax before catching your international flight home. Also included are the typical Silversea all-inclusive you expect to find on any Silversea cruise. So we include all of your food, drinks, tips, gratuities, premium brands, specialty teas, coffees. The service is absolutely second to none. You'll see as we go through the ship, and we pretty much have a guest to crew ratio of 1-to-1. And we have the butler service for every guest on board. So our butlers are there to make sure that our guests are looked after and spoiled rotten every step of the way. And the biggest thing, and I think the thing which will make or break the trip, is the expedition team. So we have a whole host of specialists on board our ships, from marine biologists to ornithologists to naturalists, you name it. We have every type of ologist or doctor on board to really bring the destination to life and to build on our guest experience. So absolutely everything is taken care of from start to finish. We will make sure that you're in good hands throughout your whole trip with us. There are also a few add-ons you can add on, such as pre or post land tours. So we can take you to Machu Picchu as well, and there's a few different tours and different scenarios you can do there. And again, Oasis Travel can talk you through that should you want to add anything like that to your trip. Moving on to the ship, Silver Origin is something we are very excited about at Silversea. We've been talking about the Origin for a while now, and we finally have the ship. She has been delivered, and we actually managed to complete the build. I say we, the shipyard, managed to complete the build and deliver the ship during a global pandemic. So huge congratulations and thank you to them. They did an absolutely awesome job. So the ship is now in Ecuador, waiting for us to embark her first guests. And just to give you some key overviews of the ship, you'll see here she carries 100 guests, weighs just under 6,000 tons. She has a crew of 86 on board, giving us a guest to crew ratio of 1 to 1.16. The biggest thing, as I said, I mentioned on, is that expedition team. So we have one expedition member of staff for every 10 guests on board our ships. It's the highest guest to expedition staff ratio you'll find out in the Galapagos Islands, meaning that our guests can really take advantage of all their knowledge and expertise in their different fields. We have a fleet of 8 Zodiacs on board, so all landings are done by Zodiac. We have the marina at the back of the ship, where guests can embark and disembark the Zodiacs, and we can whiz you ashore, and a fleet of 10 kayaks as well. So you can book to go kayaking in certain landing sites and locations around the islands, and I've seen some footage of the wildlife coming up very close to our guests when they're in the kayaks. So a great experience to be had by all. A couple of other things. She is one of the most environmentally friendly ships to ever be built, and we're very proud of that. Obviously, being in the Galapagos is a very delicate ecosystem, so we want to cause little or no impact when we arrive. So every suite and various locations around the ship has a drinkable water faucet, so all guests are given the reusable water bottles, and you can fill them up in suite and, as I said, around the ship to reduce our single-use plastic. She also has a state-of-the-art GPS and positioning system, meaning that the ship can use her thrusters and stay in one location without having to drop anchor and cause any damage to the seabed. So we're very proud of that as well. Just to show you some pictures of the ship, you'll see here's the exterior of Silver Origin. She looks more like a luxury yacht. I keep telling people she looks like the yacht the villain or the baddie from a James Bond movie would be sailing around on, but absolutely beautiful. Lots of glass. This ship is built, it's the first time we've built a ship with the destination in mind. So this ship is built to get views of the islands wherever you're sailing, whether it be during the day or at night. This is base camp, so this is the area where our guests will arrive. So we have, as I said, the marina at the back of the ship. This is where you'll enter the ship into base camp. Again, this is going to be full of artwork and artifacts from the islands themselves, giving our guests a real good feel as to the destinations they're actually sailing. You'll also find our reception and check-in area here, along with these interactive screens. These interactive screens, we designed a whole host of content to really bring the experience to life for our guests. So they can come down, they're all interactive, they can play around, learn more about the islands and the different landing sites and the wildlife in the Galapagos Islands. We can also host some small talks and briefings here as guests are coming and going from the Zodiacs. The Explorers Lounge is the main lounge on board, so this is where we will host our daily briefings. So every evening you will have a briefing as to what the landing site will be like the following day. They'll tell you exactly what type of clothing you need to wear, whether to expect a wet or dry landing. So this is where you'll find out all that information the evening before, and this is also where our expedition team will host their various lectures and talks throughout your stay with us. The lounge sits 105 guests, so more than capable of fitting the whole ship, should everybody, well, I say when everybody's there in the evening learning about these amazing islands. And you'll see that we've also broken it down to almost, the only way to describe it is like small living room areas. So there's living rooms within the main room. So each area has its own screen, so it doesn't matter where you're sitting in the lounge, you can still view the presentation and hear what everybody is talking about. This is for me where it gets very impressive. This is the outdoor area of the Explorers Lounge. So on the cooler evenings, because the evenings can get quite cool in the Galapagos, you've got that beautiful fire pit to go and sit around. And again, it's all about the views. The restaurants, there are 2 dining options on Silver Origin, this is the main restaurant, capable of sitting 114 guests. So all of our guests can dine at one time, and we even have space for the expedition team to join our guests. And you'll see the small buffet area where we do a buffet service for breakfast and lunch. And then in the evening, it's a la carte waiter service. The food will be international Ecuadorian. So lots of Ecuadorian dishes to give our guests a true flavour of where they are again, but with some international dishes as well to make our guests feel more comfortable. There is also a second dining option on board Silver Origin. On the top deck, we have our famous Hot Rocks grill, where we bring out the hot volcanic lava stones, and you can choose your cut of meat or fish and dine and cook on the hot stone to your preference. There is a small spa and treatment room and beauty salon on board, so our guests can still be pampered and looked after whilst traveling these islands. The trips themselves are they're quite hard going. Some of the landing sites, you're off the ship 2 or 3 times a day, so it would be nice to go and have a massage at the end of the day. There is a fitness centre as well for those of you who still got the energy after a day exploring. We do have the fitness centre on board. Observation lounge, again, this is where I said lots of glass, floor to ceiling windows, as much natural sunlight as possible to come into the ship. So this is an area where you can sit with sort of a bird's eye view facing the direction of sail, and you can go up there to relax, have a drink, read a book, and just enjoy the ship, to be honest with you. The suites, in true Silversea style, very, very comfortable suites. I'm just going to show you a couple of the veranda suites, which is what we have most of. This is our classic veranda suite, and what I said about natural sunlight and windows, even the bathroom has that natural sunlight come into the suite. And then just to quickly show you something which I absolutely love and find very impressive, this is our deluxe veranda suite, and you'll see here, this is your shower facing out to sea. So an absolutely awesome way to wake up and in the morning and to have your shower from there. That is, as I said, a very quick virtual tour of the ship. I wish I had more time to show you more. I'm just going to finish on a quick video. This was the delivery of Silver Origin. So our chairman and CEOs went out to collect the ship in Holland, and this will give you a bit more of an idea as to what the ship looks and feels like.
And the small yard in Holland actually managed to complete the ship under incredible circumstances.
The workforce decided altogether that they wanted to deliver the ship and not remain at home.
These people are very proud, and you will see today that how proud they are.
Today I cannot be more proud to show you what we, together with your team, with the suppliers and subcontractors, actually have accomplished.
When I was young, the thing I would wish for was a beautiful car. Today, what I wish for is a new experience, seeing a new part of the world. And here is where Galapagos comes.
This vessel has been designed on purpose for operating in the Galapagos. First and most important thing is that we've been paying a lot of attention to the details of preserving the environment in any possible way.
Our beautiful suites, of course, wonderful size, but also we're very proud that we continue with our Silversea luxury experience, that every suite, every guest will have a butler service on board our ships, the only ship in the Galapagos to provide that service. All of our menus will be Galapagos inspired, so our dining will be very much focused on local Ecuadorian fare with local produce, local menus, with an internationally inspired offering.
We have spent a lot of time in designing it and making it more and more perfect for its actual goal is to provide a very fun and nice and good cruising and expedition type experience in the Galapagos Islands. opportunity to build this beautiful ship, and I'm really happy that we can transfer it to the Silversea people.
Well, congratulations. Everybody says she looks magnificent.
I can't wait to be on board of this beautiful ship in the Galapagos, which is an incredible experience that, I mean, you don't want to miss.
I just look forward to seeing you all on board of this beauty in the incredible Galapagos Islands.
That is it from me. Thank you very much for your time again. I appreciate that was a very whistle-stop tour and I couldn't go into great detail with you. But please feel free to contact the team at Oasis Travel should you have any questions. And hopefully we can welcome you on board Silver Origin in the Galapagos very soon. Thank you.
Luke, thank you very much indeed for that truly inspirational presentation. It's certainly now somewhere that's on my bucket list, and it's somewhere that I probably hadn't thought of before, but after seeing the sort of luxurious nature of the cruise ship and everything that the Galapagos has, it's certainly something that's going to be completely different. So before we kind of move on to the Sunshine Cruises of the Silver Muse, Alison, do you want to just tell us maybe about some of the itineraries or some prices for the Galapagos?
I think the Galapagos is definitely a bucket list. It's an aspirational cruise, and now with the new Silver Origin, certainly it will encourage more to customers to try it. Anybody at all that's interested in photography, for nature, wildlife, sea life, the Galapagos is the cruise for you. Now, I appreciate it's a long way to go, so I would say think about your trip. We can help you extend your stay, perhaps in Machu Picchu, which is really popular, but we can certainly put something bespoke together for every customer. I have been able to negotiate just 3 exceptional trips down to the Galapagos on the new Silver Origin. I'll just go through one just to highlight what we've been able to negotiate with Silversea. But travelling out next November, I've been able to get a 10% saving. We also have an additional saving if you book with Oasis, and another 5% sailing. So this cruise should cost in the region of £8,000. Now that does include your flights from Belfast, all your transfers, your 2 nights in a Marriott pre-cruise, your domestic flights, all the national park entrance fees, and obviously then a day room for when you come back. We also have been able to get you an additional $1,000 to spend on board and a low deposit of £750 per booking, and that has been reduced from $8,200 down to $6,800 just for this event. But it is something that you will need to plan. We do have experts in our offices that can help you go through each itinerary. Do you want to extend your stay? Do you want to do some exploring before you get on the ship? So I would encourage you to certainly give us a call, because the Galapagos is very bespoke. It's very unique, as you've seen on the video, and we'll happily put something together for you. But we do have some incredible sailings on offer with Silversea at the minute.
That's brilliant, Alison. So, I mean, what type of passenger really takes these cruises to the Galapagos?
We've seen, we have booked customers before, and it's such a wide range. I mean, we've booked customers in their 40s who really want to explore and get their bucket list done as soon as possible, but also those that really have a keen interest in photography, those that have a keen interest in wildlife.
Yes.
You know, it really depends on where you are in your life.
Yes.
Certainly those customers now, looking at the Silver Origin, it would encourage you to make that step now, because certainly the ships in the past are not anywhere near the standard that the beautiful Silver Origin is today.
So certainly for people who think they've done everything, this is definitely a definite bucket list destination. So now sort of thinking of Silverseas and Sunshine, their newest ship, the Silver Moon is due to be launched later on this year. And I'd really hope that for today we'd get some new footage of it, because it isn't quite ready yet. We can't do that. But its sister ship, Silver Muse, I've been lucky enough to be on board, and I was really impressed with that. So for some people who haven't seen the latest Silversea ship, I'd like to just show you this video of the Silver Muse.
Welcome aboard Silver Muse. Look around. This ultra-luxury cruise ship is the highest expression of Italian elegance and style. There's original art at every turn. There are teak decks like a private yacht, and there are spectacular suites with private verandas. The intimate Silver Muse has 8 restaurants to choose from, including a Japanese teppanyaki venue, as well as an authentic Naples-style pizzeria. There's French fine dining at La Dame, the only Relais and Chateau restaurant at sea, and the best Italian cuisine is served at La Terrazza. Silver Muse has 7 elegant bars and lounges. The largest of these is the Dolce Vita bar, and it has live music every night. There's also the Panorama Lounge. It's a favourite spot for sunset drinks. And there's the ever-popular Arts Cafe, which is filled with modern paintings and sculpture. The Zagara Spa on Silver Muse offers a range of indulgent beauty treatments. There's a sauna and also a fully equipped gym, both with ocean views. And on the top deck, you can find the best jogging track at sea. The sparkling pool on Silver Muse is simply divine, and it's bigger than ever. There are 9 room categories, including elegant veranda suites, as well as 1-bedroom silver suites. Luxury cruising doesn't get better than this. Visit theluxurycruisereview.com to see more.
So for all you regular Silversea cruisers who haven't been on Silver Muse yet, I hope you can see the real difference that Silversea, the new Silversea ships has. And the Silver Moon is going to be the sister ship of that. And I really, really hope that my cruise in December is going to take place on Silver Moon. So Alison, there have been a couple of questions that have come in this afternoon on the, I want to just have a wee look. So
yeah. Okay.
I could maybe take the first one actually, because they're asking, are children allowed on Silversea? Yeah. So of course, for many of you Silversea cruisers, you'll probably not have seen many or any children on board Silversea Cruises, but for their new ships now, Silver Muse, yes, they are taking children from 6 months upwards. Right. So there is actually an activity room for children that probably isn't going to be very obvious to the rest of the cruise passengers, but there are facilities for them there. And also, now I'm trying to remember the numbers, but I think if they have about 12 children cruising during their summer cruise, they have promised that they will bring on child's entertainer. So it's not the sort of cruise that you'd really think about for family cruising, but certainly children are made very welcome. And as I say, there are going to be some facilities for children on board the new Silversea ships, which is great.
Okay, and I also have another question. This is from Sandra. So yes. This is from you. Sandra's friend had been on Silversea. She was actually disappointed that she couldn't get the restaurants. And Sandra's just asking, what does that mean? Do I have to pre-book, and are they included?
Okay. So on Silverseas, there's most of the dining is included. And I think probably what this lady is referring to is there is a speciality restaurant called La Dame. And it is very difficult to get into if you don't book it in advance. Okay. So we really recommend, if you want to eat in La Dame, and there's another restaurant, I think it's Silver Note. So if you want to eat in some of those very small exclusive restaurants, you will need to think about booking those in advance.
Can we help customers with that?
Absolutely, yes, we can do that. But generally speaking, it is sort of freestyle dining. You dine when you want, you dine with who you want to. But as I say, just there's a couple of exclusive, very small restaurants that maybe do need a wee bit of planning in advance.
Okay.
But I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to joining us this afternoon. We really, really hope to see you face to face sometime soon. But in the meantime, enjoy the rest of the day. Our offices are open until 4 o'clock if you have any inquiries. And we're doing this short opening just for a while from 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock. But of course, are available after that. We can pick up emails. So enjoy the rest of the weekend and thank you again.
Thank you.